Hello and welcome to the Long Island Weather Report. It's 9:30 on February 11th. And yes, we have some snow across our area, and it's not that heavy. It's light, and it's still kind of wet, and it's very slippery out there, so be careful. That's why we have a winter weather advisory in effect for Long Island. But you'll see here we do have some light, very light snow over us, and even Jersey light. It's mostly light. The heavier stuff is well to the south, mainly over Wildwood, Cape May, Delaware, the Delmarva area, and I don't know why we have a square missing there, but you'll see here this is a big system stretching all throughout the south here. This is like the next system, I think, that we have. So if we look at the weather map, you'll see here, yeah, they have a stalled front, two waves of low pressure along it, and another cold front that's like kind of off to the north there. That's just going to wash out, I think. This is our surface analysis. You can see it's almost like stalled. It's pretty much stalled out. Here's your two low pressure systems here, high pressure, trying to build and bringing some really nice cold and nice weather to the Dakotas. We're not in any of that. Looking at our satellite, obviously in the clouds. However, if you're in Maine, you're not in the clouds. The storm won't affect you. Same thing if you're up in Plattsburgh. But you can see the cloud bank stretching over much of the lower half of New England, Long Island, Delmarva, Mid-Atlantic area. Of course, nice clear skies to the north. Not going to get into any of that anytime. Not until the end of the week where we're going to see much sunshine. You can see we've got even some clouds in North Dakota because you got another wave of low pressure. That'll be your second wave that we're going to be dealing with on Thursday morning. But you can see here this big stretch of moisture here, a conveyor belt of moisture, actually coming all the way from the Pacific. It looks like if we take our paint tool here, which we'll do here, you'll see that moisture coming all the way from the Pacific. Yeah, it's coming all the way from the Pacific, all the way up. So, yeah, this is something we've been seeing a lot of lately. So, it's almost like a reminiscent of an El Nino type of deal, actually, even though we're in a very mild La Nina. And Florida is dealing with a lot of heat. So, looking at the map here, you see we've got a lot of advisories around here. Winter weather advisory for Long Island. Winter weather advisory for much of New Jersey, south of the Raritan. That's Monmouth, Ocean County, down to Burlington, and then Atlantic and Cape May counties. You got that winter storm warning. That also stretches through Delmarva. Also, we've got ice storm warnings for parts of looks like interior Virginia and West Virginia. And then flash flood warnings, and there's some flood advisories for parts of not flash flood warnings, but flood advisories for parts of eastern Tennessee. And then here's the other winter storm here. That's over the plains. North of that, you got the bitter cold air. You got a bunch of advisories in California too, as well. It looks like some high wind watches too. So flood watches. They're getting hammered with a lot of storms as well. Coming in. So this pattern that we're in, obviously, you can see one storm after another. There's that next storm crashing into the west coast. So not a pattern that's favorable for any extreme cold, but we know that will change. But you can see the cold that if you want that really cold weather, you got to be in the Dakotas. They're below zero, and they've got the winter storm going on here. This other storm over here in the plains where it's 24 and northeast winds there. And then Florida's been getting a lot of heat, though. It's been pretty hot in Florida lately. 73 got up to 84. That's not too bad, Okeechobee, but I know they've had some pretty hot weather down there for some of the days. But anyway, for us, the temperatures are borderline. So temperatures for us, and this kind of just reflects on the overall pattern, it's not all that cold. Again, the only cold air is really confined to the Dakotas. It's 30 at Islip, dew point 30. So again, they've got snow. They're reporting just moderate snow and freezing fog with 0.50 visibility. Let's see. We can get Farmingdale here, 30, reporting light snow, 1 mile visibility. Let's see, West Hampton. It's not West Hampton. West Hampton reporting light snow. And Central Park, 31, reporting light snow, 1 mile visibility. We'll go a little further south here and take a look at Monmouth. I got to find where it is. I think that's Belmore Farmingdale, 1 mile visibility. Going a little further south here. Let's see if we can find Coyle. Those stations are not going to report conditions. Fort Dix, no, it's not reporting any. I would have to go to Atlantic City Airport into the winter storm warning area, see if they're getting any heavier snow here. See if I can find it. Atlantic City Airport's still reporting light snow, so the really heavy snow isn't even affecting Atlantic City. It's well to the south. It's mainly just light snow, but it's wet, and that makes things very slippery again because of these mild temperatures, borderline temperatures. It's been the story all season with every single snowfall we've had. Borderline temperatures, wet snow, dangerous conditions because it's slippery and icy. Powder is much safer and much better, but again, we haven't really had that. So let's look at our high temperatures for the day, and we only got into the mid-30s, upper 30s in Jersey. Let's look at our lows, because that'll be a little more interesting. Wow, it got pretty cold in West Hampton. It got down to 9 degrees at West Hampton. 9, wow. 17 at Shirley, 19 at Islip, and around 19 if you don't have an alley. You probably had lows around 19. But if you have an alley, well, my low probably in my alley was probably 28. Somewhat of Central Park probably, and then got pretty chilly in the Pine Barrens west of Toms River too. Got down to 15 there. At least this map's finally working again. Yeah, it was definitely, as far as precipitation goes, it's too soon. We'll go over the snowfall totals tomorrow, but we can go to our statistics at Islip. And again, this is another look at the radars. Kind of shows that where it just cuts off very abruptly. Once you get past the I-84 corridor, it stops pretty quickly. So we have an accumulating light snow tonight, and it honestly, like I said, I don't think it's going to be much more than an inch. And even Toms River, I don't think you're going to see much more than a few inches there, even down there. Let's take a look and see what it looks like in Seaside Heights. On the Seaside Heights camera, we'll see. Yeah, that only looks like an inch or two, basically. It's snowing, but I still only think they're going to get maybe another maybe 3 inches at most. I think. Don't really think we're going to see all that much from it. So let's go to the models now. We'll go and look at the storm here, and this is our storm again on the GFS. We'll go to the eastern U.S. view. So this is our storm on the GFS. That is moving. That low is well to the south. So the heaviest snow is going to stay to the south, and we're going to be dealing with a little bit of light snowfall through early morning tomorrow. We get a little bit of a break tomorrow, and then here comes the next storm for later tomorrow night into Thursday. The storm, that low is going well to the north, so therefore it's going to be rain for that event, and then that high pressure builds in and gives us a nice Friday. That could be a little bit breezy. So let's go and take a closer look at things on the HRRR on our short-range models here. So again, here's our storm passing to the south. And honestly, I'm going to sneeze. Did somebody say God bless me? I think somebody did. Am I that loud? Somebody in another apartment said God bless. Well, thank you. But anyway, let's look at this, and you'll see here that that's the snow right there. It's gone. And you can see here, not a whole lot on this. And again, this is what I tend to agree with, is that I think we're only going to get an inch or two on Long Island. Maybe not. It depends on, further north, it's probably going to be less. Further south, probably a little more. And in Toms River, it has got a 3 over that. And then as you go over Atlantic County, it's got a 4 or a 5. And that is what we have right now. So yeah, that is quite a lot less than what the NAM has, obviously. The NAM is overdone, and a lot of forecasters seem to be going with the NAM, which I don't agree with. So if we looked at the NAM, you see the NAM is a little bit heavier, but it still keeps the heavier stuff off to the south. And the NAM has a little bit of batch lingering in the morning, and then we still may have some precipitation lingering around because that front just barely makes it to the south tomorrow. So if we look at the NAM, obviously it's a little. Well, the NAM's actually taking its totals down as well. It's a little higher in Jersey, closer to 5. But that map I showed last night is pretty much what I think is going to happen. And like I said, it's not something that. Let's see if the Weather Service changed their tune or they're still over forecasting here. We'll look at their briefing and see. All right, that's not their briefing. Let's see if we can. Well, they don't really have a map. I guess they didn't put a brief. That kind of shows you they didn't even put a briefing for this. So it's kind of like it's a minor event, but it's just very slippery out there. That's why we have the winter weather advisories. Not so much because we're getting snow. It's the type of snow we're getting, and that's making things very slippery. But even the NAM doesn't have that much. So, yeah, I think that at least these 2 to 4 inch forecasts for Long Island are way, way overdone. We'll look at our total accumulated precip on the HRRR for this storm, and you'll see it won't really be a whole lot of liquid equivalent. Probably no more than 0.15, maybe 0.2 right on the south shore there. Jersey is going to be closer to maybe a third of an inch, and then really the really heavy stuff stays to the south. And this has been the trend throughout this whole storm. So that's my own opinion on it. All right. We turn our attention to the next storm. All right, I was looking at the 01 ZHRRR, which is the latest one. But now we'll turn our attention to the next storm here on the HRRR. And tomorrow will be dry for the most part. It looks like this next storm doesn't really get going until a little bit later. So probably it looks like it has it rolling in. Let's see. This is 7, 8, 9. It's still over Jersey. 10 o'clock still. So it doesn't really arrive here until after 10 o'clock tomorrow night. And it's going to be rain for the most part, and it's not really going to be a whole lot of rain. So I don't think it's going to be enough to really wash all the snow away. What we're getting tonight, and then especially that ice, there's still going to be some left over. I think by the time this moves away, this is the second storm. All right, so if we look at the total, well, they only do a total liquid equivalent for both storms. You see, it's still not a whole lot. Yeah, Jersey might see a half inch out of it from both storms, but we're not even going to see that much. So this is the HRRR tending to be a little bit drier throughout this storm. So let's look at the dew points and wind flow on the HRRR. And you'll see here that tomorrow we do get that east wind tomorrow. So we continue to have the east wind tomorrow. And then we start seeing more of a southeast wind on Thursday and a southerly wind and then a southwest wind Thursday, which is going to bring in warmer air. And then the cold front comes through Thursday night, and that will drop the dew points. All right. Now the temperatures, because of those wind changes, will change obviously as a result tonight. Temperatures probably won't drop much below the upper 20s tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of cloud cover, so we'll probably be stuck in the mid 30s, and then we rise tomorrow night. So temperatures rise as that rain comes in into the 40s. And look at Thursday. Hopefully we can get some melting done because it's got temperatures getting up well into the 40s, perhaps up to 50 inland. And that should get rid of a lot of the snow cover. And not the ice is the problem. That ice is that crunchy ice, which I cannot stand. So hopefully Thursday we'll get rid of a lot of it. Maybe not all of it, but hopefully a lot of it. It would be nice if we did get rid of all of it. So there's still a possibility we might be able to. Because it's still a lot, and it's really a pain in the neck to walk on. It really is not at all pleasant. So let's look at the NAM for our storm here. So we'll go to the NAM. And let's look at the NAM and the precipitation on this. So the NAM also, the timing on the NAM, similar. It's a little more aggressive with the timing here. NAM brings it in more like 9 o'clock. It brings in some light snow and mixes it, and then quickly changes it over to rain. The NAM is heavier with the rain. So we have a big difference here in the amount of rain that we're seeing here between the two models. And the NAM is way more aggressive with it, a much heavier rain from the NAM. And that would obviously help to wash away more of the snow. If you look at the total accumulated precip on the NAM, yeah, it's got over an inch for Jersey and even parts of Suffolk County between both storms. So hopefully, I'd like to see more rain. So we'll have to see if we wind up seeing more moisture. And this is all because of the dew point. Probably the NAM is much higher with the dew points. I bet it is. let's see, it gets that moisture a little bit closer to us, and therefore it brings in more rain, and we get more heavier precipitation. But it's still done by Thursday afternoon, so it's going to be mainly a Thursday morning thing. And with that snow melting, there's probably going to be a lot of flooding, especially here in Mineola. We know there's no drainage here, so that'll be your main hazard to deal with on Thursday morning, I think. So let's go and look at another model here. I'm going to show all these models here. All right, don't have the 18Z HDRPS in, so it's not. I can't use that because I don't want to go use the 12Z. So let's go to the RGEM, and we'll go ahead and look at the RGEM with the skies and show you. We'll have plenty of clouds, obviously. Tomorrow, I don't think we get out of the clouds tomorrow. It'll be an overcast day. And then for Thursday, obviously plenty of clouds, and then probably starting to clear out late in the afternoon. And then as we head into Friday, it's showing some stratocumulus in the morning, and then it kind of dissipates. So it should be, hopefully Friday should be a nice sunny day for your Valentine's Day. And then late in the afternoon, we'll start seeing that cirrus really late increase from southwest to northeast ahead of the next storm on the weekend, which we can take a sneak peek at here, which we'll go ahead and show you on both of those models as well. Just a lot of activity going on here. So here's the GFS, first storm, second storm, Thursday, break Friday, and then here comes the storm on Saturday. Whoa, the GFS is actually starting it as some heavy snow earlier on in Saturday afternoon, and then it's rain, and then it just lingers around for your Thursday. For your Sunday, and it really doesn't get out of here until the evening. So it's kind of interesting how the GFS kind of wants to start it as snow in the very beginning because of that cold air, because it brings the precipitation in sooner when the cold air is still around. But either in the end, it changes to rain, and it's a real soaker of a storm. All right, if you look at the total accumulated precip, you'll see between all these storms, we're getting over 2 inches liquid equivalent here. Let's go over the European model, and we can use the 18Z European model as well for this. So showing you both storms on the European. So again, tonight's storm. So many storms here. It's like a conveyor belt. Here comes the next one for your Thursday. Euro also tending to be a little heavier on the rain. I think the HRRR might be a little too light on the rainfall. I think we'll do a look at the. Actually, I can do 24-hour accumulated precip. I think we'll see closer to, from that second system, I think a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch liquid. And if you're in Jersey, well, no, it's not really showing. It's only showing a ½ an inch over Long Island. So, yeah, no more than a ½ an inch. A little more than I think Jersey might a tendency to see maybe closer to a half to maybe an inch. But this is what the European is showing. But it's that second system for the weekend is really. This is really going to be. It could still start as snow, but it's mostly rain, heavy rain. Who knows? Maybe even a thunderstorm. This looks like a really strong LLJ type of situation. Here's the European, and again, that low going well into the Great Lakes on a really tight pressure gradient too, ahead of and behind it. That means that things are going to be kind of windy behind it, and wind advisories and possibly even high wind warnings. Maybe even a high wind warning would be needed. Just for fun, we'll take a look at some of the models for that. So let's look at the... let's go ahead and look at the 850 height. This will kind of show us the LLJ. So you can see this is the 850 height. Even though it's even showing a little bit of an LLJ for it. Not really much for Thursday. The weekend system is the one that's going to have a nice LLJ to it. Yeah, that has a pretty decent LLJ to it. So that's your Sunday system. All right. So that's what it's looking like right now. And if you look at the 24-hour accumulated precip for the second system on the weekend, that's the one that's going to be the soaker, because that one's going to bring us a lot of precipitation. You can see here at least an inch, if not more, liquid. So whatever doesn't wash away in these in that second system on Thursday morning will wash away on Sunday for sure. But it's going to be a pretty miserable weekend all in all with precipitation most of the weekend. So unfortunately, I hate to say it, you're going to be stuck indoors most of the weekend. So let's look at the... I'll talk more about the weekend as we get into Thursday, but that's kind of a look at what things are going to do. Now, the other thing we'll have to look at, obviously, is the wind. So let's go to Wind to Sky, and the wind not going to be an issue tomorrow, or I don't think it's going to even be an issue on Thursday so much. Let's see Let's see what we got. Wind gusts here. Yeah, it's not too much of an issue because you don't have the pressure. Well, when the front moves through on Thursday, it's showing some wind gusts up here. 50 miles. We're going to probably need a wind advisory for Thursday afternoon. Yeah, look at what happens Thursday afternoon. So we got a wind advisory, possible wind advisory, because that front comes through. It's going to pick the winds up. And so that's going to bring in some. And then for Friday it'll be breezy, but I don't think we're going to need wind advisory. Going to meet wind advisory criteria for. But yeah, Thursday afternoon when that front comes through, it definitely could create some wind for sure. And then for Saturday, not too much wind for Saturday, but with that LLJ on Sunday, just for fun. Oh, this looks bad. Yeah, whoa. All right, that's another model. I don't know what model that is, but it's showing gusts over almost 50. So that's high wind warning criteria there. What model is this thing using? The Icon? All right, let's see what the GFS is showing. GFS actually has a different look to it completely. It has the belt of wind offshore, which is interesting. Not sure if I'm agreeing with that. This doesn't show the European, so we'll have to see what happens. But either way, it will turn colder, obviously, if I go back to tidbits, which we'll go back to in a moment here. Whole lot of different systems that we got to watch here. So going back to GFS just to show you what's going to happen with the temperatures behind that front on Friday. So here's your dew points and wind flow. Mild air for your Thursday. But then that cold air comes in, the dew points drop. Yeah, dew points drop into the teens. And the temperatures drop. Yeah, it'll probably be in the mid-30s for your Friday. So it's seasonably chilly. Let's go to windy.com and talk about that. So the winds, yeah, I was thinking there was a little tightness in the isobars there for Thursday with that front that comes through, and that could cause some wind issues. So let's do the wind gusts here. Tomorrow, again, not an issue, but Thursday could be an issue with that wind in the afternoon. And in the evening, too. So we'll definitely be dealing with it. For Friday, the winds die down a little bit. It's still kind of breezy out there. And then as we head into Sunday, that's the LLJ day. So that's the day we have to watch out for. That's LLJ coming through, and that we'll definitely need a wind advisory for that. Maybe not a high wind warning, but perhaps a wind advisory might be needed for that day. Right now, it doesn't look like high wind warning. That could, of course, change. And again, we're going to have some really warm air coming into the picture on Sunday. So you can see the temperatures, up near 50. So look at that, 60s over Jersey. So that's a real LLJ right there. So you're going to have some pretty warm air, but it's going to be raining and wet, and maybe even a chance of a thunderstorm too, for all we know. Always a possibility here, just for fun. I'm just doing this just for fun because let's do thunderstorms. Let's see. Not showing any thunderstorm risk, but hey, I wouldn't be surprised considering the way that storm is tracking. So we'll have to watch out for that. That's way too far in advance. Right now, we're dealing with the current storm. So 1 inch or 2 of snow tonight. Winter weather advisory is going to be, and they're saying, let's see what they're saying. Plan on around 3 inches of snow. I think that's still a little bit overdone. But the main thing is it's slippery out there. It's a very wet snow. So that's what we have to watch out for. Now, there's one more thing I do want to look for tomorrow, and I really hope we don't have it. You know what? When I go to visibility, you know what it means when I'm going to visibility, right? Let's see. Oh, yeah. There's a little bit of it around. See that? That could be sucky drizzle right there. I really hope we don't have sucky drizzle tomorrow. Please. It looks like there will be, obviously, a little in the morning, but in the evening, it looks like it doesn't have any sucky drizzle. So I really hope we don't have sucky drizzle. I hate drizzle. Hate it. Can't say it enough. So it's colder, so it might even be freezing drizzle. So really don't want it then. So that wraps up this Long Island weather report. Again, be careful out there. Things are really slippery with this wet snow around, and we're gonna have 2 days of suckiness. But then hopefully a nice day on Friday. But then the weekend is going to be back to more precipitation. But if there's anything good that comes out of it, I hope it puts a dent in the drought that we've been going through for a while now. Anyway, Have a good night.